What snacks do we have in this cupboard today? Not a lot. My children already ate all of them, and I don't buy very many. But I know one snack that most everyone always has in their cupboard, Pop-Tarts. And I don't have any Pop-Tarts today. Can we make Pop-Tarts? Welcome back, bakers. Welcome to the fancy cakery. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make Pop-Tarts. And don't be intimidated. It's not going to be that hard. I mean, it is going to be a little tricky, but I think we can do this. So let's get into the video. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make my berry filling, and I want a mixed berry Pop-Tart. So I could buy fresh berries, but the fresh berries weren't too good today. So I'm just gonna use my frozen berries. This is blackberries, blueberries, and raspberries. So I'm just gonna put about 1.5 cups and a little bit. And you can add as much sugar as you want. I'd say about 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup for each cup. So I want it sweet, I'm gonna do 1/2 cup. And I'm going to put the zest of a lemon and the juice. And the sugar is not the only thing that we're going to put in here. So I'm okay with putting all this lemon juice. I'm not worried about it being too tart. And we're going to take this and we're going to let this boil down until it's nice and soft. You can make your Pop-Tarts cinnamon sugar, you can make it chocolate, you can use Nutella, you can use fruit filling. And while the fruit is boiling down and we're making our filling, we're going to go ahead and make our pastry. 2.5 cups of flour, and 3 tablespoons of sugar. I'm going to give that a mix. Your butter has to be cold, 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 cold. Now we're going to cut our cold butter to cubes. It doesn't have to be equal cubes. I mean, it looks prettier if it's equal cubes, but hey, it's all going to get joined together. And you could use a pastry cutter to cut this in to your flour, or you could use 2 knives, you can use a fork, you can even use your fingers and you can actually press it in. I know they say the rule is not to touch the butter with your hands, but this also works really well because it actually gets the butter a little more into the flour. And now I'm just going to finish it off. I'm actually going to go back and forth. I think we're good now. Looks good to me. I'm going to beat 2 egg yolks. And I'm going to add that in. I'm going to incorporate that in before I go to add my water. And I'm going to put my cold water in this so I can get the rest of those egg yolks. I'm going to put that on my countertop. And I just want to press it together. We're not kneading it. We're just getting everything together. Cut this in two. Make 2 balls. And I'm going to put them in some cling wrap, or plastic wrap, whatever you have. And these are going to go in the fridge for at least half an hour. You could put it in overnight, you could put it in for longer, but at least half an hour. But Angel, I don't really want to go through all of that trouble making all that dough. Well, buy some pastry. But Angel, my store only got the ready-made crust in the pie pan. You know, the round circle one, ready to go. Well, carefully take it out and press it out with your hand and cut it out and use that. And I didn't say you had to make it yourself. I'm just showing you how to make it yourself, but you don't have to make it yourself. You can buy it. That's fine. You know how Pop-Tarts has that fruit filling and it's thick. It's not a lot, but it's just the right thin layer. It doesn't squish out and it's not drippy. We want to kind of recreate that. So I'm going to strain my boiled fruits and I'm going to get rid of all of the pulp. I'm going to thicken it with Jell-O. I picked some black cherry Jell-O and I'm gonna thicken it, and then I'm gonna cool it until it's nice and thick, and that's what we're gonna use. You're gonna mash it, you're gonna strain it, and then you're gonna add your Jell-O, and then you're gonna let it cool. And the good thing with Pop-Tarts is you don't need a lot of fruit filling. You just need about a tablespoon, or not even that much, per Pop-Tart. So if you have those fruits at home, especially you in the Bahamas, you have those fruits at home on your counter, you have 1 or 2 guavas left over, you got a couple little sea grapes, a couple little scarlet plums, and you want to make a nice little jam and thicken it and use it, you can do that because you don't need that many. So this would be a perfect time to get creative with your jams. Please don't make no hog plum jam, please. Please, please, please. I don't think there's any way, any amount of sugar you could put in a hog plum that's gonna make me want to eat that. Don't do that. I ain't gonna eat it. While we're waiting on that, you can do one of 3 things. You can like my video, but Angela, I already like your video. I'm watching it, right? Well, YouTube doesn't know that you're really watching it. It might just be replaying after the video you watched before me, or you might just be watching it because you're bored and you're not really watching it. You don't really like it. It's just on. So YouTube needs to know that you like my video. If you like my video, YouTube knows, hey, they like that video. And YouTube will show my video to more people who may also like my video. And you know what happens when YouTube shows my video to more people that like my video? They subscribe. Our dough is ready, so we can now start making our Pop-Tarts. Here's the fun part, or the part where we mess up. One or the other. Not sure how this is gonna go. So one to the top, one to the bottom, or you can make one long rectangle and fold it over, or you can make two small rectangles and put one on top of the other. So you can do it either or. Maybe we'll do it both ways and see which one we like the most. So the dough is hard-ish, and this is good because you want it cold. So you're gonna be like, but it's too cold. Yeah, it's all right. What you're gonna do is you're gonna mash it out. And making many, many rectangles out of a big rectangle. So I think they're like 3 inches. I should do it this way. By 4. I'm gonna cut off all of the edges. We're gonna re-roll this dough. So guess what? You gotta know how to count with this. This is tricky. Okay? So far, I think this is gonna be the trickiest part. All the rest is pretty easy. Maybe should have looked up the dimensions, the actual dimensions of the Pop-Tart. I don't have no Pop-Tarts. Okay, so I made these 4. We're gonna do 4 first. I made these 3 by 6. I'm gonna use this one, and I'm gonna put this back in the fridge. So we're gonna get some egg wash, which is just some egg with a splash of milk. And we're going to put some egg wash on our dough, especially the edges. Actually, that's where you really want it because you want it to seal. Don't forget to preheat your oven. And I'm going to use my ice cream scoop to get the same amount of jam. And I'm just going to put about that much. And see how nice and thick it is? That's what you want. You can use regular jam, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a little too runny. And I think I put too much egg wash, and I want to bring it to the edges, but not all the way. All right, so now we're going to put our dough on the top. These look way bigger. I don't know why. Pretty sure I did it the same size. Man, I need to go back to school. Now we're going to take our fork and we're just going to seal the edges. And I'm going to dip it in some flour so I don't want it to stick like it was doing. And now I'm going to poke holes to make them look just like the Pop-Tarts in the before. We're going to put these in the fridge to cool for 10 minutes, and then we're going to put them in the oven at 350 for 20 minutes. Number 2, you can subscribe. But Angel, I really don't want to like subscribe. I can only subscribe to so many channels. It's just a bother. It's always there, and then I always get notifications. Well, I get it. So that's where I go back to number 1. If you like it, then YouTube will show my video to other people who might also like it, who might really like it, and subscribe. And then by you liking, I'll get more subscriptions, but you don't actually have to subscribe. Pretty cool. So Angel, you say, I ain't getting no ruler and I ain't doing all of that. That is too much work. This is supposed to be fun. Well, let's freestyle it. We're gonna do the long rectangle one this time, okay? So I rolled out my dough in a shape. Now we just need rectangles. So I'm just going to, or you could take a knife, long rectangles. Because you're not going to put one on top of the other one like the last time. You're going to fold over. Okay, this one is a little too short. Okay, we're not doing rulers. Sorry, I forgot I told you that. Okay, that's really bad. Try to go straight. What? Let's roll this up. Just the bottom piece. There you go. We're gonna just do the egg wash on the sides, not the middle like the last time. Just on the edges. So just like the other one. But I'm only gonna put this on the top half. And then we're gonna take this and we're gonna fold it. We're gonna crimp, we're gonna put holes, and then we're gonna put it in the fridge again for 10 minutes. And right before we go to put them in the oven, we're gonna do an egg wash on top. And then I'll show you what they look like. And number 3, the part that I really like, is when you comment. Because not only does YouTube notice how many comments there are, people don't actually take the time to comment unless they really got something to say. And that means the video was engaging, they like it. YouTube likes that, because if you stay on YouTube and you like YouTube and you like to watch YouTube videos, YouTube likes you. So YouTube will like me if you like to comment and you like YouTube videos, especially if you like my video. So comment. And that's the part that I like, because then I know what you like, or what you want to see, or what you didn't like, or you have questions, you wonder things. I will respond to every comment in my videos. Every comment. I don't care how bad it is. You can tell me bad things. I'll curse you in my brain, but I won't curse you on YouTube, because then they won't like me, and I don't want that. All right, so our time is up, and now we're going to put them on my cooling rack to cool before we can frost them. We're just gonna mix some powdered sugar and water, and we want it to be thick. It has to be really thick, so not too much. See what you got first before you add more, because it doesn't take much water. Pink, so I'm putting a few drops of pink. You can make them purple, blue, green, red, yellow, whatever you want. Actually, 1 drop. Ooh, oh my gosh. Oh wow, this is real pink. Well, I said I like pink, so. Or you can do number 4. You could like, subscribe, and comment. And and then you'll be a super viewer. You gotta put on the sprinkles while it's wet, or it's not gonna stick. And I think I got myself a pretty Pop-Tart. Now, if you didn't look too good and too close, you wouldn't really know that this was not a real Pop-Tart. But I think it's really good. This is the best part of a Pop-Tart. What's inside? See? That looks about right. The filling is thick. It's very rich. Just enough filling for the pastry. Because you know, Pop-Tarts don't have a bunch of filling and it's not a big dome. So I think this is just right. That pastry, you're gonna write down that recipe and you're gonna keep it. That's gonna be your favorite. It is good. It is so good. I'm so amazed at myself that I did this. This tastes like a Pop-Tart. It does. It tastes like a Pop-Tart. And join me next time in the Fancy Cakery, where we will do another fun and seasonally relevant recipe. My daughter's using the leftover dough to make her own thing on the side there. She don't want you to put your hand in. Sheesh.